And welcome to another episode of Ask a Creative. Today we have a member of the beautiful Anthology and Australian Heart with us. It's Carla Hoffenberg. Welcome, Carla.
Hi, it's so great to talk to you today, Michelle.
Oh, thank you so much for taking the time to come and talk about this beautiful new anthology. Tell me a little bit about how you got involved in this project.
Well, I actually saw that this project was happening on Instagram and I got really excited about the idea. There's a few reasons. One, it celebrates Australia and everything wonderful about Australia. It's for kids, which I am a children's book illustrator, so it's right up my alley. And also because it's raising money for the Indigenous Literacy Foundation. So all those three reasons made me think I want to 100% be involved in this. And another lovely thing about it is that it's an anthology. So it means a lot of illustrators contribute to the book. And it means that we get to work together and be part of a community. So just loved the idea when I saw it and I jumped right in.
They are amazing reasons to join this beautiful project. And I love that it is a picture book and also celebrating illustrators because there's not very many anthologies that have open submission for illustrators. So what was it like working with a group of other illustrators?
Well, to be honest, it was more like working by yourself until you got picked. And then we've sort of become a community because we're all involved in the book together, raising funds together, promoting the book together. And it's so lovely to just find out about everybody's story and work together going forward. And I'm sure more collaborations will come to be because of it.
Absolutely. We're all in our collab era. Like, I think it's just that's how you get ahead in this industry. You don't have to do everything yourself. We're a big community and we can help each other. So, tell me a little bit more about your submission and what was the inspiration behind that.
So the submission I did is actually called the Great Barrier Reef. And when I think of Australia and what it has to offer, it has amazing natural wonders. And to me, the most amazing natural wonder is the Great Barrier Reef. It's known throughout the world. It's a huge coral reef. It's alive. And I think I just wanted to bring awareness as well to ocean conservation. But personally, I love drawing the ocean. So that's where it all started. And then when I was in my 20s, I was lucky enough to do a liverboard diving course in the Great Barrier Reef. So it was 3 days, 4 days, 3 nights on a boat, 10 dives. It was like absolutely amazing. And the most amazing part of that experience was following some giant turtles through the reefs and then out into the open water. And that experience just lived with me. So when I was like, it's time to illustrate the Great Barrier Reef, that's what I wanted to draw, something that showed that experience. And then I also wanted to show new life because there has been some rejuvenation to the Great Barrier Reef of late, and also introduce some kids into it as well, because I feel like this is a kid's book. It is a book for kids, and I wanted kids to be able to relate to it. And I think often kids don't get the chance to explore underwater worlds as much. So it was just a way to show them, hey, this world is for you too, and there's so much beneath the surface. So I jumped on it, jumped on the idea of the Great Barrier Reef.
I love that. We visited the Great Barrier Reef for the first time 2 years ago, and we practiced in our local swimming pool how to snorkel because none of us knew how to snorkel, and we were like, no, one of our big family goals is to go snorkeling on the Great Barrier Reef, and it's such a special place, and I don't think until you actually experience it that just like when you're in the water. And have you got a copy of your illustration there that we could have a look at?
So this is my illustration. So if I start on this side over here, you can see the two turtles that I drew, and you can see the kids coming in there and having a nice swim with the turtles. And I've included a lot of the reef in there, as well as some additional creatures.
That is gorgeous. We saw one of those big bluefish when we were there, so that's super cool.
Oh,
And
amazing.
and and then how did the process work? So with the words, were you paired with an author, or how did that part happen?
So I actually wrote the words as well for this. So yeah, so I think I don't consider myself an author, but this was just an opportunity to have my words on a page with my pictures. And I think that's a very rare opportunity. And because it was just a paragraph, I felt like I was capable of doing it rather than writing a whole picture book with a story arc. So it was a great gateway into the world of writing. And all with the exception of one person who have contributed to the book have done it as an illustrator who's also written their own words, which is a great achievement for everyone.
That's amazing, because that's like, if you can illustrate and draw, you are a magical unicorn creature. And I am very, very in awe of that. I think illustrators are rock stars anyway, because I can't even draw stick figures, but I love seeing how illustrators bring their imagination to life. Is this something that you've always wanted to do?
So it actually isn't. It's actually a strange turn of events that led me here, which is quite exciting. I'm not somebody who plans out my whole life and dreams of one big thing happening or coming about. So I've always been artistic, I've always been creative, and I've always loved drawing, making birthday cards, and that sort of thing. But when I went to school, I was good at maths and science, and that's sort of where my pathway led me. And I went into finance, and I was in banking and finance for 12 years. And when COVID happened, I was at home and I was looking for something to do that was exciting. I guess just everybody was looking for something to do. And I picked up my iPad and started sketching. But what I was sketching was my kids doing fun things around the house. So even though the whole COVID experience was quite challenging, inside my house it was a nice environment, and my kids were having fun with all sorts of things they wouldn't normally have fun with. And like one of them was washing hands. My son would go into the bathroom for an hour and the whole bathroom would become a huge mess, but he was washing his hands, and we just enjoyed the fact that he was entertaining himself. And I started sketching that, and then I started sketching another image of my kids who we would put yoga on the TV for them to do, but they would just sit there and watch it as if it was entertainment. So that became another sketch. And then I thought, oh, this would be a great children's book to do. So I started going down the path and finding out how to write an illustrated children's book. And I guess Facebook algorithms worked in my favor for once, and an ad popped up to do an illustration course, which I clicked on immediately, signed up for. And one thing led me to another. Like that book was just a fun experiment. It didn't go anywhere, but it led me down the path of learning how to illustrate and finding an illustration group that I meet with every 2 weeks, and we review each other's work. They call the Illo Guild, and they've been instrumental in my development. And I've since done many courses, and I just put my work, I enjoy drawing the ocean. So I did some mermaids and ocean images, and I put them on the ASA website. And a publisher found my work on that website and was like, hey, I've got a book on sharks. Are you interested in illustrating it? And I was just jumped at the opportunity because I thought, wow, what an amazing opportunity. And eventually quit my job, and I've been doing this full time for the last 3 years.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing. What an incredible story. I love that you followed your passion and then it's just come out of joy. There's so many things, so many stories that people have around that time where we are forced to actually spend time with ourselves apart from our job and actually figure out what it is that we love and what it is. If money wasn't an object, what would we do? So I love that story so much. If people watching wanted to get in contact with you, find out a little bit more about your artistic style, or if they do want to work or collaborate with you, what's the best way they can get in contact with you?
So the best way is my website. So it's my name. So it's carlahoffenberg.com. You can also go to my Instagram page. It's Carla Hoffenberg Draws, and then you'll be able to see more up-to-date drawings and illustrations and new book projects that I'm working on. And you can always email me if you want to. So it's my name again, so Carla with a C at carlahoffenberg.com. And I look forward to hearing from anyone who's interested in having a chat, if you're an illustrator or art director, anyone in the industry.
That's so cool. So I'll put a link to all of those website and socials in the comments. So if you did want to get in contact with Carla, please reach out to her. Like we were saying before, community is everything. So if this is something that you've thought that you might like to do, but don't really know where to start, or you're just so inspired, like I am, by this beautiful illustration that Carla has done in the Our Australian Heart anthology, please get in contact with her. I'll also put a link there to where you can get your very own copy of the anthology, supporting a very worthwhile cause. Thank you so much, Carla, for spending the time and talking to me today.
Thanks, Michelle. It was really great getting to chat.
Yay. And if you wanted to get in contact with the anthology to find out what else is happening, I'm also going to put a link there to the organization who actually created this anthology, because there's so many ways that if you are an aspiring illustrator watching, that you can actually get into this industry. Please reach out. There are so many people who are here and ready to help you. And we will see you on another episode of Ask a Creator.